Alright guys, just getting warmed up at the moment, about to actually hit some upper body. I actually did train legs this morning and actually training upper body tomorrow as well, but I'm just trying to hit as many muscle groups as I can before I fly off to Singapore on Sunday, and probably won't be able to train for a couple of days. So just trying to get all my training in at the moment. So just warming up a little bit at the moment, just with some stairs, and then I'm going to hit a few upper body exercises and then legs again, even though I hit legs this morning. So I'll bring you guys along, do a bit of back, bit of glutes, bit of hammies, bit of stretching. That's it, so let's go. So when it comes to the mindset that I like to put myself in before I train is whenever I'm doing my warm-up, whether it's my Stairmaster or on the treadmill, I look through my training program, I visualize the exercises I'm about to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do before I start, and I kind of just like use this time to get myself in the mode, really focus what I want the session to feel like. And a lot of people, when it comes to their training, they get told that they should distract themselves while they're training to try and get through their training session. Whilst that can apply when it comes to cardio, when it comes to your weight training, you want to put your entire focus and your mind on the muscles that you're working. There are so many studies out there to show how much extra use of the muscle that you'll get when you're actually utilizing mind muscle connection. So mind muscle connection is massive. You want to be thinking of the muscle that you're working the entire time. So whenever I'm not feeling motivated, for me, I spend an extra long time warming up, listen to some good music. If I need to listen to something motivational, then I'll do that. But for the most part, play some Meek Mill, play some hip hop, focus. For me, my training's like my one time of the day where I actually get to dedicate that time to myself. So it's my favorite time of the day. It always has been. And you know, I don't want to just like, I don't want any distractions when I'm training. I just want to focus. That's my me time. Notifications off. It's me, my training program, I'm on Spotify, and that's all that training is. So it's my mindset that I do before I kind of get into my training for the day. And always, I feel like if you do that, you're always going to have a good training session. So. I feel like there's a strong correlation between people who train and are into the gym who also happen to have like their own business or are like very entrepreneurial. And the reason why I truly think that is because the gym teaches you discipline, it teaches you to show up and put in the work even when you don't see the results. You know, you don't see the results in your body for a very long time when it comes to your training. It's a slow process, especially if you're a woman who has a really long training age. You're lucky if you gain a couple 100 grams of muscle per year, and that's if you're doing something right. So that's what I love about the training. I think it installs such good like core values to begin with, and you know, for me, getting into the gym at a very young age, I truly think was the catalyst of everything that like I've went and got and done in life, is because it just started that like foundation for me to, you know, you learn that you have to show up every single day, no matter what, no matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how you feel. Like you don't rely on motivation. You just get it done no matter what. Because if you want something, you just go do it. You know, even if you're tired, even if you're exhausted, you just have to put in the work. So I feel like there's definitely a strong correlation between people who train versus having your own business, and I feel like that trait in any area of your life, like even when it comes to relationships, like learning patience and just trusting in the process and just continue to show up even when things aren't easy. And especially I feel like if you've done a contest prep, there's nothing you can't do. That's one of like the hardest things that you can do. So for me, whenever I feel like anything's hard in business, I'm just like, nah, I've done so many contest preps. This is easy, you know? So do the hard stuff. And if I can give you guys any piece of advice, pain first, pleasure second. If you're tossing up whether to train now or train later, just go train now. Like, don't even give yourself a second option to not go train. Just go do it now. Like, why are you even giving yourself a chance, or why are you even letting yourself have that question or that conversation within yourself to not train? Like, that shouldn't even be a thing for yourself. It just goes to show that you don't want it bad enough if that's where your mindset is at. And that goes the same with business. It's like, if you say you want something, how can you not show that in terms of your actions? Like, don't be someone who is just all talk and just, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then, you know, you're constantly just like failing on yourself. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again, is like, it's easy to win at anything in life when like everyone else is so mentally weak. Mindset, if you can have a strong mindset and you can have a strong like foundation up here, like, you can do anything in life. Like, just having that strong mindset within yourself and that you're gonna have it done, you're gonna get it done regardless of how you're feeling kind of attitude. You apply that to any area of your life, you're gonna be successful. You just keep showing up, just keep doing your time, no matter what. It's the law of averages, it's gonna work out for you. So yeah, I've never really understood when anyone asks me like, how do you find the motivation? It's like, it's not even, like, that's not even the question here. You just get it done. So anyway, let's get into a set. So a question that I often get asked is, how has my training evolved over the years? And the simple answer is that it hasn't. You know, what works, works. And, you know, you've got those basic exercises. And honestly, the basic exercises, those are where the money is at. You want to do the basic things and you want to do them over and over again. And you don't need to go get super creative. You don't need to do any insane supersets or drop sets necessarily. Whilst those can be a great addition, you also shouldn't be dismissing just the basics and just what works. Okay, so progressive overload, running a training program for a set period of time. Don't go into the gym and do a different workout every single time. You're going to be wasting your time. I don't ever want to say that exercise or any kind of workouts or training is a waste of time, because it's never a waste of time. However, if you're actually wanting to change your physique and build muscle, you want to make sure that you're going to the gym and you're doing that same workout over and over again, that you're improving the weight each time, or you're increasing your reps, or you're decreasing your rest time, because that's how we're actually going to progressive overload, and that is where we're going to be constantly breaking down those muscle fibers to be able to build them back stronger, which is where we'll bring that muscle closer towards the skin, which is going to create the illusion of a tighter and leaner physique overall. So progressive overload is king, basic exercises are king. Don't overcomplicate it. You're not going to build a booty from running on the treadmill, and you're certainly not going to build amazing delts from doing burpees. So everything has a time and place for sure, and it is. However, I will say though, one of the most important things when it comes to training is the enjoyability of your training program. Obviously, if you don't enjoy training like a bodybuilder, even if you want to build muscle, if you don't enjoy training like that way, you don't have to. You want to do what you can enjoy and that you can stick to. That being said though, even if you do enjoy training in a way that is a little bit more cardio based, there are ways that we can incorporate that more like bodybuilding, progressive overload style kind of training, and incorporate, you know, your cardio amongst that. So you can still have the benefit of, you know, getting the enjoyability factor out of it, but you're also getting the benefit of being in that most optimal position to be able to gain muscle because you're training effectively. You don't want to just like go into the gym and train in a way that you're not going to be getting as much out of it, because you're only dedicating, you know, 45 minutes to an hour per day training. Like, you want it to be getting to good use, you know, you just don't want it to go to waste, or, you know, you don't want to be wasting time. So yeah, I mean, that's how my training has evolved over the years, is that honestly it hasn't really. It's Been training pretty much the same, doing the same kind of exercises and just improving those weights where I can, and I love it. Okay, so you're looking to start your fitness journey and you're kind of like not too sure, you're not really consistent with your training at the moment. I totally understand that it can be scary to do something that you're not used to doing and to create a whole new routine of habits. But when I tell you, I promise you it will be one of the best things that you ever do for yourself. The feeling that training gives you you feel so empowered, you feel so strong, and it feels so good to feel so strong. And I know what it feels like to feel weak and to not feel comfortable or not to feel good in the gym, but you just keep showing up and you just keep doing your best every single day, and before you know it, you'll be years into your journey and you'll look back and you'll be so proud of how far that you have come. And I just think the whole part of just being a total like well-rounded human is not just taking care of your work or not just taking care of your relationships or your family, but pouring back into yourself as a person and looking after your health, because that's what it's about, right? Like even if you have kids, like using them as motivation, because you want to show them a good example of what it is to be, health of what it is to be healthy and to be able to look after yourself and to prioritize you, because I get it, like you want to put all your time into others or your kids or your relationships or your friendships, your family. I get that. However, your family is going to love you and appreciate you so much more if you're feeling so complete within yourself and you're prioritizing your training yourself first and you're filling your cup first. Because if you're just constantly pouring into other people from a half empty cup because you haven't given that time back to you, then it's never really all of you anyway. You want to be giving yourself to others from a point of overflow, not just from a half empty cup. Other people will love you for that. And when I tell you that training is going to fill your cup, it's going to make you feel good and healthy, and health as well at the end of the day. Like you can't beat that feeling of feeling healthy. And if you're in a position where you've got your health and you've got all your limbs and you're able to train, no matter what your disabilities are, if you're able to do any kind of exercise, like that's something to be so grateful for, and you can work with that. And I just think if you've got the opportunity where you can train and you're healthy enough to be able to utilize that, like wow, we're so blessed. So I think it'd be rude to not go, try and do your best and that you can every single day. So yeah, I just think that it's one of the best things when it comes to training is just the feeling that it gives you, especially as women, is that we spend our whole entire lives like being like brainwashed in a sense to be smaller, and that the smaller you are, the more worthy you are. But what I love about weight training, and this is what I loved about it at a really young age, is that it shifted my mindset of, instead of worrying about what you weigh on the scales, worrying about how much you're lifting in the gym. And instead of trying to weigh less, you're trying to take up more space and trying to gain more muscle. So it's a perspective shift. And the more that you can take up space, the more empowered you will feel, and the more worthy of space that you feel like you can take up. And I feel like, especially as women, we're told to be smaller and we're naturally weak, but then that feeling of being strong and the confidence that it gives you, there's no feeling like it. And it's just one of those things you have to just keep showing up to understand what that feeling is like. It's one of the best feelings in the world, I can 100% tell you that. So yeah, if you're on the fence about starting a fitness journey, just go for it. It's the best thing you'll ever do for yourself, and you'll never look back. Once you're addicted, you'll be addicted for life.